course, the leader of Whitesnake. He essentially is Whitesnake. And David Coverdale had a very busy touring schedule lined up. In Europe, he was going to be touring with Foreigner and the band Europe. And here in America, David Coverdale had a big tour touring with Sammy Hagar and Night Ranger. None of that will be happening. It looks pretty likely now at this point that David Coverdale and Whitesnake are done already in March for this year of 2020. And no, this is not one that's due to coronavirus. We have to see if these tours happen now that David Coverdale and Whitesnake were on to begin with, given that the virus is continuing and we don't know how much longer it's going to continue to impact touring. So there's a chance these shows are getting blown out no matter what. We just don't know. And right now we have not heard from either Foreigner or Sammy Hagar if they will still go out on tour. And if they do, what band will they bring with them now, given that Whitesnake will not be a part of it? But David Coverdale has had to pull off of these shows because he has to have surgery for something called a bilateral inguinal, I hope I'm saying that right, hernia, but basically a hernia. David Coverdale says in a statement, all tours, Europe, UK, and US are being canceled owing to health issues related specifically to a hernia requiring me to have surgery. Coverdale continues by saying, at this time, I can only offer you and my amazing musicians in Whitesnake and our crew my love and my sincere apologies, and also my regrets to my friends in Foreigner, Europe, and Sammy Hagar for the unforeseen personal health issue, which I will have addressed at the first possible opportunity. Until then, I send my love to you and yours, and hopefully we will meet again along the road. So this is another setback here for David Coverdale, and two major tours, Europe and the US, now being canceled, at least for Whitesnake's role in it, which was a big role because in both cases they were one of either the co-headliners or, special guest support slot on the tours. For the Sammy Hagar tour, I know Whitesnake was in the slot just below Sammy, and then Night Ranger was going to play. Now I don't know what Sammy will do, if he'll continue to go out on a tour anyway and look for another middle act. And we haven't heard yet from the Foreigner camp on what they're going to do. I think a lot of these folks are just waiting to see if they're going to be able to tour themselves. But certainly wishing David Coverdale a big get well. I'm not sure where that hernia is impacting David, but it said it will absolutely have an issue on his singing. And here's the other thing too, and I'm not sure how this all works, but you're hearing from a lot of sources that a lot of medical procedures, unless they are life-threatening, are being postponed. So David may not be able to get this procedure because it certainly doesn't sound like it's life-threatening, but he might not be able to get it for quite a while because the hospitals are overwhelmed due to the virus. In a lot of areas, what they call elective surgery or surgeries that are not life-threatening, that people can live with whatever their ailment is for a while, are being postponed because they want to direct all resources, all beds, all doctors towards treating people with coronavirus, which is more than understandable. So the reason why this could potentially, I don't know what the recovery time is for this or anything, but the reason why this could easily wipe out the year for Whitesnake is because David might not be able to get this surgery for a while, given the fact that the hospital's efforts and everything is directed towards the virus issues. I was in touch with David on Monday when this was first announced yesterday and sent him my best. And again, he got right back to me immediately via text and said, thank you, Edward, and all that. So wishing David Coverdale a speedy recovery, not coronavirus, but another ailment taking him and Whitesnake down for their touring that was scheduled in Europe and the US. And again, this could have happened anyway due to the whole virus stuff, but we just don't know, and we will see what happens.